What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. All right, today I got to see some of this footage of Donald Trump tearing down the East Wing. And, a part of me was like, my ancestors built that building. My ancestors built that building. And this man is just tearing down history. Now, here's the thing that gets me. If I buy a house or a commercial building in a historic part of any particular town, let's say I'm in LA, let's say I go to Pasadena, and I buy a really nice like apartment building, but that thing has been there since 1921, at least like the archway or whatever has been there since 1921. And Lucille Ball was there and got married with Desi Arnaz, whatever, near there, whatever, anything. It's historic. Okay, so I can't do anything with that archway, and most of the times you can't do anything with the building. But you can go and sue and do all these other things, go to the city and ask questions and, pay for redistricting something or permitting something. And you can try, you say, oh, I'll move it here, I'll do that, I'll preserve it, all these different things. But that shit takes a while. You're not going to be able to do that to that property like the next day, the next month, not even the same year. Right? Now, last I checked, this was the people's house. I don't understand how you build something without asking the people if they want it. Now, when we say people, it's not like he's going to get on news and tell all of us, but our representatives would have to vote on something like that. Our House and our Senate, and they would have to fund something like that. And I don't care if you got the funding from Jesus himself. I'm sorry. One man or billionaires or whatever don't get to subvert the people. You can't just say, oh, well, man gave me the money, I'll go ahead and do it. Say, no. You don't need the money. We're going to give you. Ain't talking about funding you. I'm talking about giving you permission to do it. And then it's the people's money. Because again, how are you going to take somebody else's money and do the people's house? What's going to happen then? This ballroom, you think you're going to take it with you when you leave or something? I mean, the people's money means like the people's house is because the people's money paid for it. So you're going to get this building and call it, the Trump ballroom, whatever the hell it is. I hope to God they change the name of it once you're gone. I hope to God they change it to the Obama house or some shit. I really, really do. I really do. I hope one day somebody comes in there and says, you know what? Let's change this ballroom back to the person that he actually absolutely loved and just couldn't stand the fact that he couldn't match up to him. We're going to change it to the Obama house. And I hope that president don't ask nobody. Just does it. Just changes it. In all honesty, I hope if the Democrat president comes in next, I want you to bulldoze that bitch and get the old, schematics and shit and rebuild the old East Wing. Get rid of that little gaudy bullshit he's trying to put up. I would hope that the next person would do it. But it's too many people in power and greed that would actually just keep it going. I would get rid of everything Trump if I became president. Everything Trump. You wouldn't know that fool ever was there. Ever existed. I would burn it in the front yard. Take his pictures and all that shit. Just gone. Erased from memory. If you want to go see him, go to his gravesite. Because that man is destroying this country. Has been for years. And I wouldn't want to remember somebody who decided to destroy American democracy. I thought we had treason for people who did that. I thought there was a thing called treason. I thought there was a thing like, where we actually arrested people for shit like this. And what this shows is you can, grossly disrespect America, and there's no repercussions if you're the president. This man could burn this whole shit down and they have no recourse except for getting on the news and saying, it's not a good thing. I wouldn't like it. I'm like, it's illegal. Okay, so if it's illegal, then what are you doing to stop it? Because it sounds like you're saying it's illegal, but he's white and powerful. So all we can do is just call it illegal. We ain't gonna do shit about it. That building, you guys should have sued already for him to stop construction. Because it's illegal for him to do it. There should be somebody in court right now stopping it. But no, they just look at it and be like, oh, it breaks my heart. No, it should be you going straight to the courts and saying, this is illegal. This destruction must stop. This demolition must stop. And they have to stop it because they have to go through the normal processes, which is through the House and Senate. And it has to get funded by the people. You can't have the people's house being funded by corporations. It's the people's house, not corporate house. You think they gave him this $200-something million to build this shit? So it could be the people's ballroom? I just don't get it. The Historical Preservation Society should be suing. B Money, come on. You feel me? I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I'm in LA, but I know it's all over the United States. But I was doing stuff in real estate, like renting now, stuff like that. I wasn't buying, but leasing rather. Real estate and commercial real estate and things of that nature. And we had a guy who wanted to buy it and renovate it. He couldn't do it. It was over $3 million, $3.25 million. He could buy it, but he couldn't do anything to the outside of it at all. Because it was a historic building. You're going to tell me this building is historic because it's just been in this state for a long, long time. And that community is like one of the only buildings that are still up from the time that community was built. And therefore, it can be used for anything on the inside, but it cannot be, nothing can happen to it on the outside. You can clean it up and fix it and replace, brick and paint over, signs that make people write their graffiti on the back gate, all that. You can do that, but nothing else. And you're telling me the White House, the most historic building probably in the United States of America, this man can just bulldoze it without talking to nobody about it? Talking about somebody saying that they're not a king. That's some king shit. And nobody's able to do anything but just whine about it. There is no law or nothing, no courts that can say, stop it. You can't do this. You just can't do this right now. You tore it down, but you're going to have to rebuild it the way it is, bro. You can't be, we don't even know if this thing, the way he's talking about how grand it is, can the soil even take it? We don't know that. Donald Trump, when he built buildings with his dad, they cheated a lot of shit. And trust, here's the thing. The people building this elaborate thing, this man is not going to pay you for the gold in it. He's going to find a crack and say, nope, I'm not going to pay you. You're going to go broke. I have no idea why on earth these people listen to this man whatsoever, other than him being white. I just don't get it. He's not smart. He's evil. He must have something on him. I can't fathom this many stupid people. This is way too many people that aren't bright that it's allowing this. Thank you, Randall Wise. I appreciate the donation, $10 donation. Appreciate you. I just don't. I'm at a loss for words for this. I'm like, you guys are letting this man every day break a law after law after law after law after law. I mean, I got pictures of this. It's really kind of heartbreaking, dude. To see it, it's like, wow. A part of history. If you ever wanted to go see the White House, you'll never see the West Wing. Or this is the East Wing. You'll never see it. You see some gaudy ballroom. Shit that had history of over 100-something years in this particular building, you won't see. And you don't even know if he got the furniture out there, bitch. We haven't a freaking clue what's going on. Nobody's been notified. Mike Johnson don't know. None of the Democrats know. And I'm like, where did they store this shit at? Because you know he ain't going to put that old furniture into this new building he's got. He's already got a whole motif. You'll see it. So what's happening to all the furniture that, I don't know what particular year this was. They said something like 100-something years ago, whatever. But the president who decided that this was going to be here and they went through the right processes to do so back then, I'm sure his name was on it. I'm sure. And that's another thing. The president's name is on it. Automatically makes it a story. In California, a person's name on it they used to donate to the community. Never like a president, never like it's just like in that community. Let's say a guy named John Davis. Let's just bring up a name. Let's say John Davis helped start this community back in the day and all this. He had a little mercantile and blah, blah, blah. You can see the history of it. In that little space, although it may not have the entire building, it may have like the archway or whatever, and they built around that bitch. You can't touch it because John helped build that shit back in the settler days. Historic. You got an actual president of the past that built something this man got to destroy. I mean, you can build your own shit, but when you go around tearing other people's shit down, that ain't no king shit. I don't know what it is. It's just crazy. But here's the footage of this thing. It's just crazy. At the end of it, this man talks about, you'll see what it looks like. This torn up buildings, man. This huge building they're going to get rid of. And here's the thing. They literally said they weren't going to tear anything down. They was going to buttress against this building and build it right beside it. They literally said they were not going to tear this thing down. Here they are. Look at that. Destruction. Demolition. With no permission.
You probably hear the beautiful sound of construction to the back. You hear that sound? Oh, that's music to my ears. I love that sound. Other people don't like it. I love it, Josh. I think when I hear that sound, it reminds me of money.
That's what he's talking about doing to it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Go back a little bit. Look at this gaudy bullshit. Look at this. Just gold everywhere. He's trying to act like he has this kind of money, but this 230 million, which here's the thing that's so trip. 230 million. You know he's getting some of this money from his dictator friends. You know that. So we getting other government people paying for this. This ain't just Americans. Again, the people's house being somebody. We don't know where this money comes from. It went before they started construction. This thing was supposed to be $230 million. They just started construction. That shit has already gone up to 250. How you get $20 million in a couple days? You ain't even got it done yet. You would think, okay, I got 230. It's still on time for 230. Usually when you get down to the fact of, oh, we need to do this extra thing to it. After you're almost done, that you're thinking like, oh, we gotta get this, we gotta get that, and the gold, yeah, it went up a little bit. You would think. But no, these fools within the first couple days have gone from 230 to 250. By the end of this shit's gonna cost $500 million. And it's gonna be some other country that gave us a loan for it or some shit that we're gonna have to pay it back. Meanwhile, American citizens, farmers, don't have their fucking crops being sold to anybody. Looking for welfare. American citizens are sitting here trying to figure out how they're going to pay their health care. Some of us paying 100% more than we were before. Why? Because this dipshit party doesn't give a fuck about American citizens. And their dumbass like MAGA people only care about white supremacy. until they hit the poorhouse, and they're still going to blame everybody else except for their white asses. It was all their fault. Racist white people's fault that we're in this situation. Yep. And all the time, this is what kills me. All the time when they were running, when Trump was running for office, all the time he was running for office against Kamala, they were asked, is America racist? Here they are, about how many people they all got into the young Republicans. They out here saying the N-word, talking about raping people, making jokes about it, talking about watermelon people, talking about the Jewish people, talking about they love Hitler. Every hateful, despicable thing that even Hillary even said, deplorables, everything. I can see if that party on a majority level denounced this shit, you can have some hope. But just like black people have been saying for fucking ever, this country's racist as fuck, and it hasn't gotten better. You just gotten better at hiding it. They used to be able to say it right in front of everybody, but at no repercussions. Then all these laws came about where you can sue and end up owning their house if they fuck around and say something racist. You ever notice how so many people will tell you, and this is what kills me. You would tell somebody that you never said, man, that was quite racist. And then a white person tell you, say, I don't know if that was racist or not. I'm like, fuck you. You don't know what fucking racism is. What the fuck you gonna tell me what racism is? You ain't never had racism against you. Shut the fuck up. Learn from somebody. Don't try and educate people on shit you don't know about. That's the biggest problem in this fucking country. People act like they know some shit, but don't. Pete Hegseth don't know shit about running the fucking military. But he's sitting here talking to generals and shit like he know what the fuck he's talking about. Donald Trump don't know how to run no damn country. He can't even run a McDonald's out here. Again, people get so comfortable seeing white people in power that you think because they're white, they're right for the job. And this is a hell fuck no. And that's the part where they hate. They're being exposed for not being qualified for the job. Their whiteness is no longer being qualifying for the job. And that's the part that's pissing these racists off. Their whiteness gave them validity. I know what I'm doing. I can puff my chest out and pretend and fake it till I make it. But my whiteness makes me look like I'm qualified. My decisions makes me look like a dunce. And so America starts to see it. White women starting to see it. Latin people starting to see it. And the mask is coming off. And then the racism gets stronger and stronger and more blatant. Why? Because it has to. There's no way out of this like ruse. This thing like, oh, I'm powerful because I'm white. I'm supreme because I'm white. And nobody sees it but them. So what? They got money, they got power. Racism comes out and they try to divide everybody on race, on sex, on trans. Because that power no longer exists for them. But we're just sitting around and let them continue with this racism to get this power. And once the racism shit don't work no more, they don't have nothing. They have absolute nothing. That's why they burning the shit down, tearing shit up to show you I'm the powerful race. I can do whatever I want. And we're sitting around watching them do it. Our government has no answer to this shit. You got answers to going picking up somebody off the street for, drinking on the street or whatever in public. You got answers for people jaywalking. You got answers for everything else. You have no answers for rich people raping children. No answers. None. Rich people tearing down buildings with historical buildings just because, and powerful people being a president. No man is above the law. Unless you got money and you're the president or you got some kind of power. Then you're above the law. I'm like, wait a minute. You should not still be above the law. It says no man. You're something different than man. You're like a supreme man. That's some bullshit. And we've fallen for that crap. It doesn't stop until we stop putting people on the pedestal just because they're white, just because they're something else other than. Putting them on a pedestal. What makes you good at your job is your ability to do your fucking job. Your skin ain't got shit to do with it. But you have them tell it, they'll say, oh, it ain't about race. But why is your place filled with all white people doing the job? I know people of color have applied. And here they are trying to get rid of civil rights laws and shit like that, saying we don't need it no more. I'm like, really? We got people like this, the guy that Donald Trump wants to hire for some position. I don't forget what it's called, the position he's trying to hire now. This dude walked around and said, I got Nazi feelings. I feel like a Nazi every once in a while. This dude said like the N-word. This dude said something about MLK was the 1960s like George Floyd or some shit. They're trying to hire him for positions and knowing he's racist as fuck. So how the hell you tell me this country ain't racist when you are seeking out deplorable racists to put them in power of something? Do you think anything that he comes up with is going to benefit anybody else other than white men? He even talks shit about white women, women in general. I promise you, I don't get how people self-destruct. I don't get that shit at all. How you don't love yourself enough because you hate somebody more. I mean, if anything, be selfish right now. Do you love yourself? Hopefully you say yes. And if you do, how can you hurt yourself? Despite anybody else, leave anybody else out of it. How can you hurt yourself? Are you proud to be white, black, Asian, or Chinese instead of just saying Asian? But you're proud of being that? Of course you should be. So why would you destroy something that has to deal with you? You destroy everything. These people are literally trying to fuck up your world. White women, they're trying to fuck up your world and took your rights to your body. You think they really give a shit about you? The way they talk about you behind closed doors, on text, raping you whenever they feel like it, calling your little girls ripe and fertile. I mean, come on. How the fuck long can you stay behind this shit? In my entire life, I've never heard a black man. And if he did around other black men, he would get fucking knocked out. Talking about kids being ripe and fertile. The whole group of brothers would beat his ass. Here it is, a white man literally gets out and says that shit at a podium. And not one white person stood the fuck up and knocked his ass out. The fuck you talking about? That's some sick shit to watch somebody talk about a child like that and do absolutely fucking nothing. Inactive, missing in action. Cuss him out at least. No. You have more heat and smoke for somebody at a store that don't give you your fucking change back, that you got to speak to a manager and the manager's managers and the manager's managers all the way up to the fucking owner. But you hear a man talk about raping your children, you ain't got no smoke for him. The fuck is that? I don't get it. I really don't get it. It really got to hit home for some people to stand up. Where home should be where humans live, not just white and black and Latin and Asian. You're human. Every one of your kids and yourselves are valuable. And how you can hear somebody talk about somebody else and invalidate it. How you can sit here and look at, and this is everybody. I'm not talking about white people here, but you can look at what they're doing to these Venezuelans without due process. This country is about due process. Due process. And we sitting here watching this man break every law. Day after day after day, he's breaking multiple laws. Nothing happens to him. But you got smoke for people who came into this country trying to make it a better place. And this man is married to an immigrant. Kids are first time, they're half immigrant. His dad, well, his dad was the first one born here, so he's like the second generation. Dad brought him here. His granddad brought his dad here. Immigrant. It kills me. It really does. These people are fairly new to this country. They ain't been here since 1700, 1600. They ain't been here. Their family lineage don't go here from that long. And here they are running the damn country, destroying it and running it into the ground. In cahoots with people like Elon Musk, an immigrant that really hates this country, but has enough money that people like him. Although he says some of the most disrespectful shit. The man did a Heil Hitler in front of the entire fucking world. And even the Jewish organization was like, oh, just kind of, maybe it's a little freakish little move. Who moves like that? And it's so crazy how that, I was going to call him MF, how that fool has never made that move again. But I thought it was a random move that he makes. This was the Jewish League. Too wussy to stand up for their own people. And in a heartbeat will go after somebody of color and call them anti-Semitic if they tell the truth about how the Holocaust and all that shit like that. Right after it was over, what they did to the Palestinians was the exact same thing Hitler did to them. They just didn't choose to cook people. They chose to rape and murder them and kick them off their land. Same shit. And the crazy part, Hitler lost. He didn't even fucking get to the point where he wanted to do. Kick all of them out and have his own country. But the Jewish people got a chance to do that shit in that country. Went over there and claimed it as if it was theirs. Did that colonizing shit. And then want everybody to think like, oh, we're innocent. Bullshit. That part of your ancestry is not fucking innocent. Drives me fucking nuts that people just don't want to fucking tell the truth. I know it was your ancestors, it's not you. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying I can't stand the fact that people lie just so they can make themselves or their culture look like it was a lot better than it actually fucking was. Accept it, move on from it. That's the only way you can get through it is that way, is to accept it. Yes, my people were pretty fucked up, but we're doing better now. But no, you're still doing the same things now. At least Netanyahu is. I don't know about all the Jewish people, but Netanyahu is still doing the same thing. Yeah, it's disgusting to me. It's disgusting. Very. So this man is destroying our democracy, tearing down our monuments. That building is historic. Should have never been touched. If he's going to build it, he should have kept to his promise of building it beside it, expanded it to another side, and have nothing to do with this building at all. That's the way he promised it. And with that, like, promise to everybody, he broke it. And nobody's like there like, yo, you got to stop this shit. You got to stop it, bro. Nope, cut it out. Now stop. Nobody's called like the police and say, yo, you got to arrest these people or something. They can't just be tearing down the building. Nobody's saying a freaking word other than like, oh, it's disappointing. No, it's illegal. It's more than disappointing. What's disappointing is this man is doing illegal shit and you guys have no remedy for it. That's disappointing. And you know, if this was Obama, these fools will have a remedy for it. The Republicans would. Would it be legal? Nope. But they would have a remedy. They wouldn't sit by and just do nothing. They'd be breaking the laws just like they think he was breaking the law. And our people just sitting there. Sad to see. Sad to see. How about getting somebody to stop it? How about protesting outside and saying we shouldn't do this? Absolutely nothing. Took a Trump woke, Mike. It drives me up at the wall. But yeah, that's the ugly ass building. And you can see they got on the outside, I don't know what this snow cap shit. I guess it was because of it's a design, and they wanted everything white. But that's what it's supposed to look like. Sucks, huh? Things that we cared about just doesn't matter. It really doesn't. American people don't really get a say in this shit. And that's why I'm like, the American people have to figure out another way for themselves. I understand, the way things go, we're going to always be at the very bottom with billionaires if we don't find a way to combat them. And it's very much a us versus them type of mentality because we don't do shit to them. We celebrate our people who bust their butt to get ahead. They become a millionaire, billionaire. We're like, oh man, look at that. We used to look up to all that, when Oprah became a billionaire, when other artists and so forth. One of the other musicians I just thought about, she became a billionaire like a couple years ago or something like that, being very smart about her thing. Beyonce became a billionaire. Well, her and Jay-Z, I guess, combined. I'm not 100% sure. So we were like, oh yeah, awesome, great, whatever. We found out other people who were billionaires that were through business and things like that, whether it be black, white, Latin, they moved their way up from nothing to something wonderful. But when did it get to the point that we looked up to them for busting their butt and getting somewhere to the point where they took our accolades and they was like, oh, thank you, and sell my products and buy my products and buy my products. And now it's all about fuck you to us, the people who helped them get there. We ain't asking them for money. We're just saying, dude, get your foot off our neck. Quit every turn you get trying to get a benefit from something when the people need to benefit. You might want to stop asking for favors from the government and giving you $300 and $400 million to build some shit that you're gonna quote unquote create jobs. Instead of doing that, how about the people that work at your corporation that are really good at their job? How about investing in those people to start their own businesses or some shit? That way they can create industries in other areas that can give people jobs. How about that? Or how about the government just literally saying, hey, we've been giving these $300 million and $400 million, deals to these major corporations. It kind of seems like a monopoly. How about we get the average everyday person? If you can start, building this and the other, we'll give you a contract for $50,000 or $500,000 to build this particular thing. If you can prove to us you can build it first, get your stuff together, then we'll get a contract with you. Starting up with small businesses and mid-sized businesses and lifting them up. And once they get to a certain area, like over 500 million or whatever a year, stop giving them money. No more subsidies for you. We're going back down to the bottom and getting more people who are great at what they do, just don't have any opportunities, and start investing in them. A couple 100,000, 500,000, and build those businesses up and have a graduation of people who are trying to move upward mobility. There's no program like that. It's just giving rich people more money, more money, more money of our money. And they get up here and look down on us. I remember seeing a interview with Peter Thiel talking about he was living, I guess it was in San Francisco or whatever it was, Silicon Valley, wherever he was living at the time. I want to say it was San Francisco. And he was talking about homeless people that were down at the bottom of the hill, like in the city or whatever. And he was like, as long as they stay down there, I'm good. What are you doing to help them? Nothing. It's like, to whom much is given, much is expected. When you heard Donald Trump say the thing that he thought mostly about when he heard the sound of construction, you see how much, I want y'all to understand something. That man has never said he has loved anybody. You ain't never heard him say he loved his kids. You ain't never heard him say he loved his wife. You ain't never heard him say he loved being president. He doesn't use the word love unless it has something to do with money. And you see how happy and giddy it was? He literally fucking smiled. It sounds like money to me. That right there told you this man is devoid of caring of anything but money. Now ask yourself something. I can understand somebody who was broke their entire lives thinking about money this way because finally you're starting to make something, you're fucking excited. But this man has been rich his entire life. But he wants to be competitive rich. He wants to be richer than the richest person. He wants to be number one rich. So what does he do? Consistently get excited about money. That's why somebody that much in love with money can't ever work for the people. I want you people to understand. And hopefully you got a friend or somebody you know that's MAGA, or maybe MAGA's passing through and seeing my site. I want you to understand something. A person who loves money the way Trump does can never love people. Because in order to make money, you have to work with the people, some way, shape, or form. But to make extraordinary money, you got to rob some people. You got to get as much money out of something you can. You think this building costs $230 million? This man ain't going to pinch off a good $30 million for himself and not pay somebody? You think he's not going to end up building this building and taking the money himself somehow? You know how it's strange that today, I remember telling y'all a while back ago, when Donald Trump builds his dad, let's go back to his dad. When Donald Trump and his dad, not his dad, let me clear my mind again. Donald Trump wasn't born yet. When Donald Trump's dad had a business back in the day, during the he may have just been born, 1940s, whatever, right? At the end of the war, okay? So at the end of the war, they started, building houses and shit like that. And Donald Trump would talk about one of these guys every once in a while because that wasn't even his dad's competitor. That guy was richer than Donald Trump and his dad would ever thought they could be. And he's the one that built it out. I forgot, a little something. He built in New Jersey, there's suburbs that he built, but he ended up going broke. See, he tells that story because he's bragging about the fact that this dude lost it all. Because that's who Donald Trump wanted to be. You know how you go places and you see like you see Michael Jordan, you're like excited. He was happy about money when he was a kid because Donald Trump was poor rich, meaning like he had to work with his dad to make money. These kids that he wanted to hang out with, they had Rockefeller cash, meaning like they didn't have to work. They could do whatever they want. And Donald Trump had to go work at the real estate place with his dad, figure some shit out, learn the business. They didn't. So that's what I mean by poor rich. So Donald Trump was that kind of kid, poor rich, always wanted to be like his extraordinarily wealthy friends, but never was. And you can see how somebody who's broke, that looks like, I want money, money, money. You would think that a person who is rich wouldn't be that way. But no, there's always somebody who's better than you economically in that sense. And they always strive to be that person. So even a rich person, seeing the extraordinary wealthy, you see how he gets excited about the people over in Saudi Arabia and get their $400 million plane. You would think a man who's had millions of dollars in his pockets before at one time would think nothing of money at this time in his life. Just enough to retire and have a good time. Now I'm 70-something years old, almost 80. I ain't living to see 100. Not the way he eats. He ain't living to see 100. You would think he'd be enjoying life. No, he's wanting more money and more money and more money. I promise you, this fool think he's going to be rich in heaven. And he ain't going there. You can take it to hell all you want, but regardless, wherever he think he's going after this, he think he's going to take the money with him. That's how bright he is, or you know what I mean. So I don't understand how this man continues to like have this love for it, but you got to know, MAGA, he can't love you because he never talks about you in glowing terms. He never talks about you guys in glowing terms. When you think about Donald Trump, I don't know if I even got the video. Let me see if I got this video where Donald Trump, see if I got it. I know I had it for a second there. I don't know what happened to it, but I had a video of Donald Trump talking about American citizens. It was during the debate with Kamala Harris. I may have it on, I can get it online. But when he said he had concepts of a plan, When he was talking about healthcare for the people, it seemed like a burden to him. No smile, no enjoyment of it. We're going to try and figure it out. This man talked about, I hear money, I hear cash. Orgasm. Helping the people, it's a pain. And when you got somebody who thinks it's a pain to help people, they're not supposed to be in an in-service job. This is the problem, MAGA, with you guys wanting a business person to run the government like a business. Business is cutthroat. And when you have a lot of money in a business, you get a lot of people doing some devious things because there may be some really awesome people, but more than likely the people on top are the devilish ones. Do you ever think about the healthcare system? Almost every human being has gotten some way, somehow to deal with health, whether they got insurance or whether they paid a doctor just straight out their own cash, out their pocket, whatever. They make money hand over fist, right? Cash all day, every day. There are so many millions of people who don't even see the doctor every year yet, though they still got insurance just in case something happens, which means they're pocketing millions, if not billions of dollars, hundreds, probably even billions of dollars a year, in which the people in which are paying for it don't even do anything. Go see the doctor maybe once. And you sit here and you look at it and be like, wow, these people, they don't care about you. When you get sick, they're trying their best to find out how they can deny everything possible. Oh, well, you know what? We can't give you this. Oh, well, you know what? The pill is $800. Oh, half of it is $1,600. How the fuck is half of it $16? Oh, we made a mistake. My bad. It's $3,200 for whole 16. I thought it was $800. They rob you left and right, left and right. That's what a business person does. The most egregious people that are greedy as fuck in this country are most of these business people. They do capitalism in an evil way. That's why most of us who deal with capitalism, we don't like it. I do capitalism, and my goal is to do capitalism by capitalism that cares, so that we can all make money working with each other. And even though you're going to have your different tiers of people, you have a better opportunity of actually going from here to here to here by working with each other, as opposed to trying to stab one another. And that's how they get ahead. They don't even see a problem with unaliving you. And if you got all your money on you, on your body, they take it and unalive you, have no problem. Keep going, go eat a sandwich. Donald Trump literally talks about helping. When he talks about helping people, you can see the frown on his face. Well, I could do this and I could do that. When you talk about money, that's the only time he smiles. Ask yourself, if you were that greedy, do you really care about people? Of course you don't. His joy is money. His happiness is money. He's never said, I love you to any one of his kids in public. Ever. This man has been in the spotlight for well longer than that, but for the presidency for like 10 years now. You've never seen him say, I love my kids. I love being a dad. I love being a husband. You've never seen him smile, only when cash is around. Oh, I love money. And then he goes over to, what was he at? Saudi Arabia, wherever he was at with a lot of Saudis. I don't know where they were at. They might have just came all one place, whatever. And he knew how much this man was worth. And was sitting there like a schoolgirl, shaking his hand. Oh, he worth a lot of money. He worth a lot of money, a lot of cash. The fuck is that? That's why you don't want a business person being a president, because they put money over people. Do you really think if that man said, I'll give you $1 gazillion if you just sell California to me, you'd think he wouldn't do it? Of course he would. Why would you want a president that's that thirsty for cash? Even being rich, he's still thirsty. Why would you want that? Any sane person wouldn't. You have to be out your freaking gourd to really think that a person that can't smile unless money's involved really gives a shit about you as a person. And don't give me this that, he's happy. Donald Trump is racist as fuck, but he still don't give a fuck about you. Why? He'll in a heartbeat kick a white supremacist out of his circle in a heartbeat if he ain't benefiting him the way he wants to be benefited. If he wanted something and that dude wanted something different and treated Donald Trump with disrespect, he'd be gone. Be careful whom you get in bed with, because the person that don't care about anybody, he's a psychopath. He don't care about nobody. Has no feelings except for money. That's a scary sign. Never shows any kind of emotion of love and caring, any kind of anything. Mention cash around him. When they talked about the $400 million plane, this little asshole smiled from ear to ear. Knowing he was breaking the law, I got a gift. When that African president came and said, I wish I had a plane to give you as a joke, Donald Trump was like, oh, I wish you did too. I mean, he is the richest, poorest person I've ever met. And I haven't met him in person, but I'm talking about ever seen on TV or anything like that. He's the richest poor person. I don't have that kind of money. But if somebody came to me like that, I am not desperate enough for cash that I'm going to sit here and kiss somebody's ass just because they got money. I've been in a room with people worth over $400 million. And I was talking about their mama. Because we was just hanging out chilling. I didn't know he was a 400 millionaire. He was worth 400 million. Pretty young cat. But he had a white dude that had like cornrows in his head. And we was at, and had red hair. And I'm sitting here like, when I saw him, I said, yeah, you must date black girls. I just walked up to, he just started laughing. And we just started hitting, and he would say something like, your mama this. Oh, I said, you know what? Oh, so you don't understand. You don't understand. I'm good with this. I'm good with these your mama jokes, man. Your mama jokes. So we was going back and forth. Your mama this, your mama that, dying laughing. All the dozens, everything. And he was cracking up. I was cracking up. And the dude who was in this mansion, and he was there because they wanted to get money from him and investments from him. So the dude comes over to me. That's housing, that's doing this whole thing, trying to get money from this dude. He walks over to me and say, could you do me a favor and go get me a drink? I'm like, the fuck do I look like? Your maid? I ain't getting you no drink. The fuck? South African dude, white dude. And I'm like, because I was helping him sell some drinks and stuff like that, like energy drink company. I was helping him do that. I was his general manager. But I looked at him, I was like, nah, bro, I sell you drinks. I don't pick up drinks. That ain't a thing I do, you know. And then the dude laughed, right? And then he's like, well, I got to talk to him. He tried to pull the dude away from me. The rich dude, which I didn't know he was rich at the time, the rich dude said, I ain't going to mention the dude's name. He just told that dude's name. He said, man, me and Drew having a good time, dog. Don't even worry about it. I'll talk to you about business later, but this is fun. If you ain't got no fun to add to the conversation, then, you know, go over there and sit down and wait for me to do the business part. But right now, we just having fun, bro. It ain't about business. We had a party, and they brought everybody there. They had models and everything there. Like they had money. They had like Victoria's Secret models and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting there just chilling, talking to everybody. Like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? And me and him is back and forth, was having a good time. But the whole moral of the story is just like I can mix and mingle with them all. And when I found out he was worth 400 million, it didn't do anything to me. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make me feel a certain way. I got to know the man, not his bank account. And if I knew his money, I still wouldn't care because I don't want his money. I'd be like, yo, man, congrats on that, man. You young and got it going like that. But what do you do? It would have been a conversation like that. It wouldn't have been like, oh my God, look at him. He's rich. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture with him. The fuck is that shit? And Donald Trump has been rich for a long fucking time and still acts like somebody who literally was homeless. It's sickening, yo. It really is. I see one of your comments, Woke Mike. I don't know what's coming up. What did Trump do to over 7 million people this weekend? Oh, he crapped on them with the plane, that little plane thing. Yeah. But, you know, again, that right there is pettiness because it hurt. I told you, this man's skin is so thin. Everything you say about him, he cries on the inside about. And therefore, he tries to be mean with you. But his meanness you know what? This is what kills me. I don't know what everybody else grew up with. I can only speak from a black perspective. Growing up, you know, growing up black, we used to have, in every city it was different. You know, some people, I was in Indiana, we called it joning. Some people call it, you know, the dozens. There's a bunch of names for it. Snaps. But again, you're going back with each other. You saw this, you saw that. Your mama's this, your mama's that. They had a TV show. You probably don't know. It's called Your Mama with Wilma Valderrama. I created that show. They stole it from me. But anyway, so regardless, we have all this, and I mean, I ain't talking about like created the show and just like they took it. No, I literally interviewed with them, and they stole the show. And they know they stole it. We were suing them for a minute, but regardless of that, being able to do this, like we grew up, we had to have thick skin. You know what I'm saying? You come out of lunchroom, you can get a Joan in a heartbeat. Like, oh man, what kind of shoes are those? We weren't even talking about like what are those back in the day. That's shortened. Back in the day, we'd be going in. Like, what the hell are those, bro? Those Mikeys? You know what I'm saying? They look like Mikeys. Is that an M instead of an N? And it was nonstop. It was nonstop. Long as people kept laughing, it was one after another, one after another, one after another. And you had to learn how to, this shit was like double dutch. You had to learn how to jump into it. You know what I'm saying? Or you was going home hurt. And just as a kid, you have more thicker skin than Donald Trump does at a 78-year-old man, 79-year-old man. It's disgusting how he gets hurt. Yeah, he crapped on it. It's disgusting how this man gets hurt over simple stuff, y'all. Simple. Grown man. You're like, dude, toughen up a little bit. I promise you, he probably cries at home. When everybody's gone, watching TV, he's probably tearing up. You're like, dude, chill out. What you crying for? I mean, there's nothing wrong with somebody to cry, but over silly shit? So, another thing that I saw today, I remember I told you guys about the Venezuelan boats and how this is getting some more heat on it. And the one girl who said her father hasn't returned yet. I haven't heard anything more about that other than the fact that she had that interview with the news in her country, and he hadn't come back. And that, the Colombian president called Donald Trump a murderer and that he needs to be investigated, which I agree with him. He's killing people, international waters, and it's not a war, and we don't have any war on any particular country, so you really shouldn't even be there. If it's some drugs being trafficked from one country to another, this is not America. That country can decide to do whatever they want to do with them, but you can't be like going from Venezuela, they're traveling from drugs from Venezuela to Colombia or whatever, and you are literally blowing them up so they can't get to the other country. I'm like, yo, that don't make sense. Catch them. You don't have to kill them. Just like when you blew up the submarine or whatever it was, and 2 survived, you caught them. But it didn't seem to appear that you had any kind of paraphernalia, any substance, because you didn't charge them with any particular crime. You didn't put them in jail for the crime. You let them go, and like one of them at least in Colombia. I thought it was Venezuelan people, but you let go one of them at least in Colombia. So you let go of people that you thought was smuggling drugs. And because these people are alive, more than likely they weren't selling drugs and could tell you the fuck is going on. Why y'all trying to kill us? And you let them go. But you're not going to say that. Pete Hicks is not going to say that. And you guys are continuing to kill people. Now they got footage, and Rand Paul actually had something to say about it. I'm like, oh shit, Rand Paul, I don't like him, but you know what I'm saying? He's just so weird that I'm surprised he was saying something about it. But they do have something. When we started breaking it off verbally, oh yeah, we talk mad crap, man, when we was a kid. Me and my boys still do it every once in a while. We say some stuff that's kind of funny. Every once in a while, it never goes away. You might be in a store and you may say something just flippant, but not to the person. You may see somebody, but oh man, wow. Ooh. You say something to yourself, and they be like, "What do you laugh about?" Nothing. Nah, can't say that out loud. Yeah, we do all kinds of crazy stuff back in the day. Still do, but we've filtered it now. But here's if you don't want to see it, here's a boat. I think this may be the submarine. Now I'm trying to figure out submarines. You can't tell what's on those, man. Usually submarines are a situation where you can't. You know, they had a sonar, a type blocker. I don't know what it's called. You really can't see what's in it. There's no. You can't see the heat inside of it. I mean, they may have some, some really extra strength shit that I don't know about. Of course, I'm sure they could, our government. But normally you don't see inside those. You know what I'm saying? But they supposedly thought this thing had something in it, and that's where the two people lived by that bombing. But here you're gonna see it and hear what Rand Paul had to say about it. This is where you see them getting. Look at that shit, man! Just blew it up. Look at that. This right here. Look.
Do you believe that these strikes against these suspected drug boats are legal?
No, they go against all of our tradition. You know, when you kill someone, you should know if you're.
Let me stop. I want to see that last one, because that one person said something about. Look at that boat. That shit does not. I mean, it's too small to be some huge drug boat. It's open. It ain't got like 2 floors on it. It's just like what you see is what you get. And that might be the one they talked about where the dude was just soaring, floating in the water because he had pulled up his engines. And I mean, if you're going somewhere, why your engine's pulled up? Usually just kind of like bobbing in the water at that point. And they got something just bobbing in the water that's not going anywhere. I mean, were they taking drugs to a whale or some shit? They selling drugs to whales? I mean, what the fuck? But then they just blow it up.
Do you believe that these strikes against these suspected drug boats are legal?
No, they go against all of our tradition. You know, when you kill someone, you should know if you're not at war, not in a declared war, you really need to know someone's name at least. You have to accuse them of something. You have to present evidence. So all of these people have been blown up without us knowing their name, without any evidence of a crime.
Exactly. Without knowing their name, without having any evidence of a crime. I mean, and the fact that there's so many boats, and here's the thing I learned today, and anybody in the military, they were fishing boats, yeah, Harry. They did say it's fishing boat, but anybody in the military, you can explain this possibly, but I just learned today about Mark. What's his name? Is Mark. He's an astronaut slash. He's a politician now. Bald head white guy. I forgot. His wife is the one who got shot. I think 5 times. I'm trying to remember his name at the top of my head, but I can't remember right now. I can picture him. He said that the Navy men and women that are shooting these boats, that literally are dropping the bombs via the drone or whatever, they can be legally charged if this is found to be a criminal action. Individually charged, as well as the government, but these individuals pushing the buttons can literally be charged. Now, if that's true, I'm like, holy shit. I mean, they're just following orders. But again, you're not supposed to follow unlawful orders. Oh yeah, rooted in planet. Oh, you're talking to anarchists. But yeah, it's that's the only thing that's the sad thing about this, because a lot of these people are just following orders, and they're not thinking outside the box that I can defy my leader. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's telling me to do this, I can defy it. Right? So they're caught in between in a rock and a hard place on that one. Yeah, so not nomadic mariner is saying it's true. I'll continue doing my research on it, but he said it. I forgot his name. If somebody got it yet, let me get his name so that way we can all kind of be on that same plane. I think he's a senator. He was a senator. Oh, Gabby Gifford's husband. That was quick. Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly is the one. He's an astronaut, and now he's a politician. I think he's a senator, or maybe he may be a congressman. Yeah, he's a senator. Mark Kelly's senator. He's the one who said it. So you could probably find that clip. He may go into more depth about it on different shows that he may have been on today. But I feel bad for these military men and women who are just doing their jobs. But again, that's a tricky one, because what do you know if somebody just telling you shoot, you know what I'm saying? It's like they didn't give me no context, like why I'm shooting, you know what I mean? At least I don't know. That I've never been in the military, but I'm like, that's the gist of it. I mean, we're blowing it up, but why, sir? Because I told you so. You know what I'm saying? And now you're in the midst of this debacle that could end up messing your life up. That you unalive innocent people. And I don't understand how there is no safeguards for a rogue president. And if there are, why aren't we pulling that ripcord right now? I mean, one or two crimes we can see, maybe, he didn't know he was doing it. A crime every fucking day? He knows what he's doing. I was watching something, what was it, today, and it was saying something to the effect, I don't know if it was like a MSNBC video, or I don't think it was CNN. It could have been, but the topic kind of stuck out on me. They were talking about saying that Donald Trump, it might have been Ari Melber, but it was about saying, it was kind of leaning toward an earlier aspect of it, leaning toward saying like, people may think that Democrats are being like, hyperbolic or a little bit of, dramatic to say that Donald Trump's not leaving office, or Donald Trump's going to, have the military go to polling sites and basically, suppress the votes and all stuff like that. And he's going to call, that it's going to be some kind of, let me say war, but he's going to make it seem like it's wartime because he's putting all these people here talking about, oh, we're under invasion of our own people, so that he can be president, because they already know that this next election coming up, they can feel the vibes. Even some Democrats, well, not some, all Democrats, independents and Republicans, a lot of them are against what he's doing. Now they don't want to like give like the Democrats a super majority or some shit like that. But I do feel that there are many of them, not the far right MAGA, but many of them that want to regulate this fool a little bit, because they're losing too much. Prices are going too high. So you can see that with a few Republicans coming out. Now, mind you, when Donald Trump was running for president all three times, none of these Republicans broke. They voted alongside of him like 90-something%. Remember that? Yeah, Adam Kinzinger and Liz, what's her last name? But Liz Cheney voted with him 90-something%, even though he was this bad. But the people around him were pulling his chains like, oh, whoa, slow down there, boy, slow down. Can't do that. But without that reign saying slow down, he's a menace. And they knew he was a menace. They voted this dude in. So just to see the break off a little bit is a lot better than it would have been before. Yeah, he is the senator for Arizona. You're right, K. But it was saying something to the fact that it was, Democrats were being a little hyperbolic about it. And I can't stress enough, you didn't, America and the masses, you didn't believe what the 92% was saying, or close to like 80% were saying. You didn't believe us. I hope you believe us now when we tell you this man does not want to leave office. They are doing things that show they are not doing going to leave office. Donald Trump and his minions, Russ Vogt, know they are breaking the law. Not once, but a crap ton. And if they don't get to accomplish what they're going to do in these 4 years, I think they're going to get very, very, very close. You think they're going to hand it over without them finishing the job and wait another 4 years to get back in? Hell no. Just the signs tell you that this shit, because of the court, the lawsuits that are coming and making him stop down for a week or two or a month, saying he can't do it at all. They thought they rigged the courts that all of them was going to say yay to them, and it was going to be a lot smoother. It's being slowed down a little bit by the judges, right? It's not as smooth as they would like. They thought they was going to run over the Democrats, but this insurance thing with the big beautiful bill and them holding off is freaking Trump out. You can tell because Trump keeps coming out and speaking every day about it. Before, he just leave it alone when you don't care. He cares. He cares because where's he getting the funding from? Because nobody's getting funded. He's trying to get these billionaires to subdue everything and to actually not subdue everything, but to support everything so that he doesn't need the government's money to be able to still take control of the government. While everybody else is going broke, billionaires are supporting him to do what he needs to do, which that should be illegal because that's a donation or even investment into the country that you're not allowed to invest political money into the country just like as a fraction of money that you can actually give. You can't just be giving willy-nilly a crap ton of money. That's why when Donald Trump gets the $400 million plane, that should be highly illegal. But they let the laws be broken. DOJ, FBI, all of the alphabet people, they're just letting this man have free reign. It's a wild, wild west with this man. Out here doing whatever he wants. No law is going to mess with him. No police officer, no FBI, no DOJ. Nobody's going to sue him. He's got free reign to tear this country the fuck apart. Because the people he put in are sycophants for him. If that don't scare you, it should. And it should get your ass out to vote. Because you know they're going to do everything they can to say the vote is not valid. And their thing was to say on that show was like, he may not. And I'm sitting here like, yo, do y'all not remember January fucking 6th? I mean, it's crazy that you got to remind people of January 6th. We told you this guy was not going to leave the office. Some Democrats, some independents, almost all fucking Republicans was like, no, that's not going to happen. He's going to leave. I'm like, no, he's not. Look what he's doing. Pay attention to his character. What is he saying? What does he keep putting out there? He puts it out in the open. It's rigged, 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 rigged. We'll see. Are you going to leave the office? Are you going to leave the office? We'll see. We'll see. He never answered that question if he was going to pass it over like he's supposed to. He literally never said yes. We're going to see. We're going to see. And then when he had to leave, he still went around the entire, to this day, saying he won something that he lost in dramatic fashion. And they keep on giving this man the benefit of the fucking doubt. Listen to me clearly. He is not leaving. So you better have a fucking plan to kick his ass out. You better have a law that forces him out. And if not, drag his ass out. Don't sit around. Oh, it could be, couldn't be. You did that before January 6th. We told you January 6th happened. Republicans, Democrats, independents crapped their pants that these people were trying to kill you guys and also try to hang Mike Pence. This man had citizens of America trying to hang the vice president because he didn't become the president. He lost. And you think that that same man is just going to up and give power away after he done built the shrine to himself. And he's talking about building another shrine that he's going to call something to Trump. The fuck is they talking about? It's quite simple. You don't need to be a genius. Quit giving this man the benefit of the fucking doubt. The 5-alarm fire is on. It's ringing. Do something, Democrats. Do something, independents. And Republicans with fucking sense, Do something. Come together. You know what you should do? Democrats and Republicans, I don't care if you're in office or not, you guys need to come together and start talking about plans. Things that should happen that you guys can work on together. And force these MAGA minions into doing something. Because if you don't show some kind of solidarity on some topics, and this means you too, you old ass George Bush, get your ass out of your fucking chair wherever you. I don't care how sick you may be. If you are sick, if you're wheelchair ridden, I don't know what you're doing right now, but get your ass out and act like you love your country and fight for her. I guarantee you. They always want to talk about when I was a kid. I never voted for him. I was a child at the time. But Jimmy Carter, he always talk about how bad a president he was and all this stuff was happening. This man, to the day he died, was a man of service. This man was old as shit, going out building houses for poor people. That's what you want as a president, not a businessman, because a person like that gives a fuck about the poor people as well as the rich. When you got somebody like Trump, he don't give a fuck about nobody but himself. And you want that to run the country. They'll need to get your mindset out of business, people. That's ridiculous. A business person should not be running the government because a government is not a business. And it should not be ran like one. They suckered you to think that shit was real. No, a government is not to be there to make profit off its citizens. It is there to run and protect its citizens. And they're trying to turn it into a business. Look at Donald Trump selling meme cards and selling his presidency and having his sons and daughters go all over the fucking world and use the power of the presidency to rob other countries and tell them and promise them things that America is going to do for these other countries. And we don't know what kind of deals they're making with these people that America is going to have to hold up to. We don't know what kind of debt they're going to leave us with, or promises of what this country is going to offer them. If he can tear down a monument that's historic, like the East Wing, who's to say that our gold reserves aren't up for sale from this dude? Who's to say that he aren't going to sell oil wells of ours to somebody from Saudi? He loves money so much. Who's to say he won't do that to us? Nobody. Because he doesn't love people. He loves money and power. And you don't believe me, look at this man around rich people. He's like he's at fucking Disneyland. The only time this man lights up is around rich and powerful people. He couldn't keep his hands off Putin. I thought he wanted to fuck him. The whole fucking time. I'm like, dude, quit slapping the man's hand. What the fuck is wrong with you? Exactly, Scott. The stuff we don't know. Because he puts everything else out there. The stuff we don't know has got to be like, it's insane. I don't know if you guys saw my video earlier today. Whereas I talked about Donald Trump, and it's weird how the number 9 is significant in both of these scenarios. I don't know what that means. I'm not a numberist or a numerologist, however you say it. But the number 9 is in both of these scenarios. I don't know if you remember when Donald Trump and Kamala Harris did that debate where she waxed his ass, I may add, and how she looked at him when he was posed a question about healthcare. Said you have been promising during this run as president that you was going to have a healthcare plan. She said it's been 9 years or 9+ years or something like that, and we still haven't got a plan from you. Do you have a plan? He goes, I got a plan. You know, like, then he goes on. Then and she's like, he goes on this whole conversation. She goes, I heard all of that, but I didn't hear a plan. So you're saying that you don't have a plan. Well, I got concepts. 9+ years. And when his little his little excerpt he was talking about rant and shit was like, that's when I said he had the little frown on his face about talking about the people. He's like, well, Obamacare was just horrific. You know, I could have got rid of it. You know, if I got rid of it, you know, I could just sit there and let it rot, you know, as it is. I decided to just let it go and let it rot, you know, but I could have fixed it, but the Democrats wouldn't let me fix it. I remember John McCain doing like this, and rightfully so. But he blamed it on the Democrats. They wouldn't let me fix it and all that, and which he was trying to tear it apart. And she was like, okay, you don't have a plan. He's like, well, I got concepts. 9 years for concepts. For those who voted for him and those who just don't pay attention to what he's doing and how he did it, how he rolls, I told you he don't care about people. Go back and look at that video. As he's talking about the people in the healthcare, he's literally making it seem like it is otherworldly, like it's hard and just, oh my God, this can't happen. Yeah, but we're trying to work on it, blah, 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 and pulling teeth to get this man to come up with an actual strategy. Then he says, I got concepts of a plan. You look at Kamala like, wow, this is sad. If I was narrating her, it's like, this is sad. This man just said he had concepts after 9 fucking years. What I would do, you know, saying that's the way she looked. 9 years, y'all. Only concepts. And I don't believe he had that. I think he was just saying that to make it seem like he had something. 9 years, he had bupkis. 0 for those who are younger than me. And then Donald Trump has been in office for 9 months. In 9 months, this man has started on a renovation of a ballroom. Do you understand? That had to be expedited like really good. First of all, you had to come up with a design. Who was the architect? You had to go back and forth and tell the architect what you wanted. And that architect had to keep coming back with, oh, what do you want this? You want that? You want this? You want that? All that, right? To be able to do it. Then you get the renderings of it all, and that's just going to be the schematics. Then, how do you want it to look on the inside? How do you want us to design it? Oh, gold this, gold, go. So he has to go through that. When did he have all this time to be building this gold, this monumental thing? And this is not the only building. He's already got that little arc or whatever it is, Trump arc he's trying to build on top of that. He's holding a 3D model of that, which means some team has already figured out other buildings that he's going to build. So this man in 9 months have come up with one complete ballroom that's going to be 230 million, which already expanded to 250 when it's just now being tearing down the building. An extra 20 million in a couple days is just tacked on. So again, it'd probably be way more than that by the time it's built. And then they got another one he's talking about building, something, the Trump Arc, and he done got a 3D version of it, which means he's already went through the plans of doing that as well. When is he going to break ground? Who knows? Maybe soon. But he's got 2 buildings this man has done in 9 fucking months. Do you see how hard and where his priorities are? I could come up with a healthcare plan myself. In fact, I have many a times to try and figure out how we can help the people. And this man has 0 in basically 10 years now. But he sure as fuck has made a couple buildings already. And one's already starting to be built. And secured the money to do it. This shit takes time. And he spent his entire time as president getting rich people to give him money. And what the fuck has he done to lower anything for us? He's about to make us pay twice as much, and some people 4 or 5 times as much. Anywhere between 70 to 300% hike on insurance. Instead of getting these hundreds of millions of dollars to give to the people, pay off our debt, this man's creating more debt. That $300 million or $230 million or $250 million place ain't gonna be paid for. It's gonna be loans and people offering him shit. We're gonna be tacked on with a bill of that. I promise you that. He never pays for anything. It's gonna come with a bunch of lawsuits too, because these people bringing in all this gold and he ain't gonna pay for it. Oh, they're gonna want their gold back. Just saying. All we got is health care and tariff taxes. That's it. and lies, destroying our buildings, killing innocent people, and not being transparent. I thought it was supposed to be the most transparent presidency, and they said ever to happen. You know, it's just where it's going to be. We're going to be transparent. Here you are killing people out in the open. That's transparent. You killed them all right. But the transparency is the part behind the scenes. Where are the drugs? You got to confiscate them. Otherwise, you don't think this is what kills me about this whole process, right? The drugs aren't humans, right? And the drugs are not something that's just, going to blow up with all this shit. There are going to be packets, if there were drugs, there are going to be packets that are going to float. Because when you're in a boat and you got hundreds of millions of dollars worth of drugs on you, you think they aren't packing them so that they float? You think they really think if they threw it off or whatever, or not even threw it off, the boat tipped over, they don't give a damn about the people on the boat, but their product, that shit's gonna float home to them. It ain't gonna fucking sink. And you gonna tell me they put this stuff on a boat so that it won't float? So when you went kaboom, there had to be packages all over the place. If the people made it, the substances made it. For the most part. Now, maybe not every package, but you should have enough to have packed up on a desk all these packets and proving, see, we got 200 pounds of whatever, fentanyl. But you have bupkis. That means zero. You've shown nothing. That's not transparent. It's apparent you fucked up. And then one other thing that, like I tell you guys, I always trying to come up with solutions for Americans, for us to do it ourselves and not rely on the government for what they're saying they're trying to do. Because I am personally sick of all these parties. Because it should be easy to focus on the people. It should be easy to say, you know what? We got some racist people, xenophobic people, evil people. That's not the majority of us. The majority of us are good people. Now, the bad people are going to benefit from our goodness, but we should not be making laws based on the worst of us. We should be making laws based on the best of us. Those who are good people are the people who serve people the best. Those who are evil serve themselves. So the good people should be able to decide how we going to roll with this. After all, it takes our money to make this thing run. And when we can get good people on the same plane, united over democracy, and get good people who are united over democracy, coming up with plans and strategies to make their lives better, and not looking over the fence in North Carolina or whatever, in New York and Chicago, and seeing what everybody and their mama got, focusing on what you need, and stop looking at the Joneses. This is what you want in your community, then this shall be what you get. And we should be all supportive. If New York needed a bridge, we should all be supportive to get that bridge, because it's bringing shit back and forth so that, we could bring shit from, other countries and be able to bring it into our country, right? Smoothly, without it, tearing things up. If it happens in another state, or if anything, we should be totally fine with it and supportive of it. But see, we get told that there ain't enough money for shit. It's crazy how they always say, and in both parties, to be honest, you don't have enough money for it. But it's mostly Republicans, though. We don't have enough money for it. And then next thing you know, $230 million for something that was already effective as it was. You know how much money that should have cost? Zero, because there was already a fucking building there. Don't start building shit unless you paid your bills off. It tells you they're not fiscally conservative. How are you fiscally conservative when you could have took that $230 or $50 million and paid down our debt? It would have been a small amount, but still, it would have showed that you were trying to bring our debt down, that you were being fiscally responsible and conservative. But no, you're not conservative. If you were, that's how you would be thinking. But they only talk about this conservatism stuff when they talk to us and try to give us to give more money, to try to give us to pay down the debt. They don't do it when they run to rich people and ask them to pay their fair share. Oh, no, can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, we reverse to that. Nope, nope, nope. And I'm like, regular people, the 99%, why in the hell don't you want any of you? Why wouldn't any of you want the top 1% to pay their fair share? Even if you dream to be one of them one day, you should be fine to pay your fair share. You're still going to be rich. But when you love money more than you love people, you rather save money than save a life. Why are you here with humans if you don't like them? Take your ass to space with aliens or some shit. Why the fuck are you here if you can't stand people? It takes people for you to get rich. It's just baffling to me, yo. I just can't see it. What does it say, Harry? It says another fishing boat we murdered with SEAL Team 6 in North Korea, not talked about much. Oh no, I gotta look that up. Was that recent or is that something happened in the past? Yeah, they building rockets, they building everything, and the people. I'm like, look, and this is what's killing me right now. We got military men and women who are not, and people work for the government, not even just military, but people work for the government that aren't getting paid. They're getting paid a portion of their money now. I think next week it's like zero cash whatsoever. It's totally ran out. This man is not getting $230 or $40 million to help feed the people. He's not getting $230 or $50 million to hold off Americans and give them a STEMI check. He's not doing that. So that you can pay whatever you need to pay, like buy food, whatever it is, or help you out in some way, shape, or form. He's getting all this money. And then on top of that, oh, we don't save billions and billions of dollars with these tariffs. Then why aren't you sending the American people who are hurting right now a STEMI check? That's what they were wanting, your MAGAs. A stimulus check. They voted for you for it. Why won't you do that? Because he's greedy and he's keeping it to himself. Donald Trump wants this money to himself. He doesn't want to give it to nobody. He's too much in love with cash. Think about it. He's shaking down our colleges for money. And did you hear today? This fool is suing America, suing the Department of Justice for $230 million. Strange that this renovation for this ballroom is exactly $230 million too, huh? But yeah, suing America, DOJ, for charging him with all the crimes he was really guilty of, in my opinion, because that's his stilo. But they didn't charge him completely because Jack Smith took forever to get shit together. Jack Smith should have been like one of the first people, I believe, that set his case up and put Donald Trump behind bars. But nope, held off, let go. All the time we've been telling this man's gonna mess up democracy, and they still slow rolled this shit. They didn't believe it. After what he did on January 6th, they still didn't believe this man was capable of what he's doing now. And what he's doing now, some of them are still questioning. Democrats are still questioning whether he's gonna leave or not. Fool, he's not leaving. He didn't want to leave the first time. Tried to kill the vice president to stay in office. You literally think he's going to leave that behind? The power to do whatever the fuck I want to do? You think he want to go back to being a regular human when he feels like he's superhuman now? Tell me which superhero got rid of his or her powers? What villain got rid of his powers when he got them? He wanted more. Trying to steal everybody else's powers. They never want less. They want more. So what other power can he get other than owning the fucking country? Stop giving this man the benefit of the doubt and treat him as he is, not with this aspirational bullshit you have of what he could be. He is 79 fucking years old. He ain't changing for the better, only for the worst. And find out what his love is, which is money, and get him in trouble with it. Smith, he broke his leg. Who you talking about, Mark? I'm missing somebody. But Mary Garland. Nah, Jack went up to him. They ain't investing this much to give it up. That's what I'm saying. You guys got to have some kind of ripcord. You got to be figuring something out, Democrat leadership. You can't be sitting here and acting like this is regular shit. It is not. The alarms are going off. And if you don't have anything, and if you waiting until the day he's supposed to leave and then be like, oh my God, he didn't leave. You're the dumb one. You're the dumb ones. This time, you better be prepared. You better start writing your own Project 2028 or whatever the fuck it is when he leaves. You better have a plan and a strategy. Because if you don't, you're not being the president. This man would mess around and unalive the person running up against him. He would have the military probably take him out. Don't put it past him. What I'm saying is not hyperbole. It's not fucking exaggeration. It's not over dramatic. It is factual. If he was able to take out, in his way of doing things, if he would have had his way, he would have unalived this Vice President Pence. He would have unalived him. Put somebody in his place to sign exactly what he wanted, just like he got rid of all these other people. I bet you his only regret is he didn't kill him earlier. He would have had more days to put somebody else in to do exactly what he wanted to do. You've seen his behavior. You see the pattern. I don't know why the hell they get off the pattern. The pattern is he cares about no one but himself. Throws everybody under the bus. And what he says he actually wants to do. And when he says, I can do this, but not necessarily nobody's asked me to do it. Somebody's already asked him to do it, and they never even asked him. He told them he wanted it. I mean, come on. Pam Bondi. Oh, no, she didn't tell me nothing. Then all of a sudden it comes out. She talked to him. He asked her, charge these people. I don't know anything about the case. I don't know. I'm just not hearing this. That literally means he knows about it. He wants you to think he doesn't know. Because he's trying to keep his hands clean, but he's too stupid. And you guys keep playing like listening to every word he says and believing it. Need to wake up. You need to wake up. Anyway, little and if you don't know about that 230,000, it's in the New York Times. You can get 230,000, 230 million. I'll show it to you right now. This is it right here. You can look it up. New York Times. You can read the article. If you don't have New York Times, it's everywhere else too. I've seen it in a bunch of articles as well. But I had one thing that made me laugh today. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. One thing that made me laugh today was I saw that guy, Officer Tatum. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him. But I didn't see him first. I saw a clip of D.L. Hughley. And he was on Vlad TV. And Vlad TV was the one who brought it up, at least in the clip I saw. I didn't see the whole video, so it might have been something that was revisited by Vlad. I don't know. But Vlad brought it up, talking about this Officer Tatum. He said, I see you had some kind of beef or whatever with Officer. He said Officer Tatum. He called him by his real name. And he's like, I don't know who that is. Oh, you mean Officer Tatum? I said, yeah. So he kind of knew what he was talking about after that. Brandon Tatum, I guess. And so in this conversation, D.L. Hughley was just basically talking about, being coontastic. And you know, I don't know who this dude is, but you know, he that's the dude that said he would not, you know, cry in front of his wife, and then you had him crying about, you know, Charlie Kirk, right? And so everybody clowned him about that whole process, him crying over Charlie Kirk, a racist that didn't care about him once or whatsoever. But again, this stepping fetch it Steven from Django, um, used to be officer dude, wants to sit here and lick the left testicle of this dude that wouldn't, you know, wouldn't do anything for him. And you know, he was sitting there talking. He was trying to have like they weren't in the same room or nothing like that. He was responding to D.L. Hughley's video. And hey, what's up, Mark D? He was speaking to D.L. Hughley's video, and he was like, you know, D.L. Hughley said something to the effect of, "These people are insignificant. They want to tap dance for the other party, so therefore, you know, they can feel important." And he said, "Is that Candace Owens too?" And he said, "Yeah, of course, Candace Owens just as well." This is D.L. Hughley. And he was talking about Officer Tatum, and he's kind of like reading him pretty well. And he said something. He said, Charlie Kirk doesn't care about it. He said, so when Charlie Kirk, at his funeral, did you see any of these black people at the funeral? And Officer Tatum said, Ben Carson. And he asked him, do you see any significant people who are Republicans that are somebody, whatever, blah, blah. He said, Ben Carson. He had one. He had one black person he kept on bringing up, Ben Carson, who was an extraordinary surgeon. But after surgeon, and that was over, it's like, yeah. They gave an extraordinary surgeon the job of HUD. I'm like, okay. He didn't have enough intellect to be around you, even though you put a bunch of idiots around you. You put one of the smartest black men, who happened to be a conservative, the head of HUD, off in the corner doing some egregious shit. And I'm sitting there like, But he kept bringing up Ben Carson like he was, you know, the biggest thing. And I give him credit for what he did. I can't take that away from him. But this kid was, I call him kid. I don't know how old he is, but this Officer Tatum just kept saying him and him and him. Not even himself, because he knew he wasn't relevant. But, you know, I kind of respect that he didn't bring his own name up. But so he's sitting there talking about Ben Carson. But he was saying to him, and he was saying it to the video basically, this is D.L. Hughley, that this dude is insignificant. And he said, did you ever see him at the funeral? Did you see Candace Owens at the funeral? And then this dude said Ben Carson was at the funeral, still talking about Ben, that one token black guy that got a chance to come. So he was like, well, why would he want me to help him? Because his wife was there. His wife was this and that and the third. But this fool forgot to realize he put out a video of him crying, of Charlie Kirk being dead. And then another video where he came out and said he wasn't invited to the funeral. And he felt a certain way about that. He forgot that anybody who's been watching him had probably saw that video. But he was talking about DL. It's like, you know, I didn't have to go, you know what I'm saying? We didn't really know each other like that. Oh, so you don't came to your understanding that you and him didn't know each other like that. But one of your previous videos, you was butthurt because you weren't invited to the funeral. I mean, these man, I'm telling you, these coontastic people, they have no moral foundation. They flip and flop like salmon. Anything to be accepted. It's wild to me. This dude looked like he was probably a bully when he was a kid, but the way he sound like he got bullied. Because only a person who got bullied and really wanted to be around that in crowd, even though they got bullied and accepted it, would be around Trump. Would want to be around Trump. The dude that's the bully that you look up to. And that means you're the one who got beat up and liked it. And the only way you fought back is becoming an officer, because that's when you got your testicles, when you had a gun in your hand. But without them, you weren't. Because I don't see for the life of me. This man tried to ask D.L. Hughley, like, who is he? I want to tell you something. What's your name? Brandon, what the fuck your first name is? Officer Tatum, that man that you tried to diss is one of the kings of comedy. You're the kings of coonery, but you ain't the king of comedy. This man has perfected comedy for himself and his family and procured that and has created wealth off his talent. Just like Ben Carson. I didn't say nothing disrespectful about him. Gave him his credit for what he did. You, sir, have not done that. You're not on that level. And why the hell would Vlad TV want your dumb ass on this show? Not the fact that he won't do it to cause drama, because Vlad, he like that. But why would he want you on his show? Who are you? Like, I wouldn't be begging for somebody to be on somebody's show, because who am I to be on their show other than having my own opinion? But why you want to be on there trying to ride your coattails of DL Hughley so you can come on there and talk bad about DL and not talk about yourself? Because trust me, you get on the show, Vlad's going to expose you. And you ain't going to like that. But you're going to love the fact that you got people looking at you. And, you know, you guys are always looking for some kind of affection and shit that your parents didn't give you. Your mom didn't give you the teeth long enough. Your dad didn't either stick around or he beat your ass too much so you didn't think he loved you. You guys are always in some dramatic bullshit because you're so stuck on you. The people, all of us, we're here together. You guys, and this is the thing I want to say, last thing about black conservatives that I've noticed. You guys never have a plan for black people. You only have disrespect and platitudes. Or you say some shit like what we need to do. We need to do this. We need to do that. But you don't have any examples in your own life of what you did to get where you are, except for tell everybody they need to be a coon. You don't have a plan, a structure, a book, nothing to get nowhere. You just get in front of a mic and disrespect black people, and white people give you money for it. That's it. You never hear you guys talk shit about anybody white. That's why we know you're a coon, because there are times when white people have done some crazy shit, you ain't got no smoke for them. Donald Trump has said some racist things, you have no smoke for him. The moment somebody like me, black, that comes out and says, hey, you know, everybody deserves opportunity and this, that, and the third. Oh, you need to work your way to the top. Oh, you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You got all the smoke, the same platitudes that don't mean shit, that don't have a plan or strategy for jack. I have yet to see a Republican come up with an actual plan, black Republican, or strategy for their people. If you got it like that, whatever your name is again, Officer Tatum, if you got it like that, then why aren't you helping the people? Why don't I see you out there trying to help folks? Why aren't you coming up with actual solutions and asking people to help donate to be able to get, you know, black people to another level? If you think that's the problem, well, the way you guys talk about it, you're always telling us what black people need to do, but it's never really a plan or strategy. It's racist shit. Like, black people just need to work harder. Black people just need to stop eating chicken. Black people, and it'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no strategy with y'all. It's the same racist platitudes. You're just a black person with a white a vernacular. And I ain't talking about you speaking where you're proper or anything like that. I'm saying the racist, white nationalist bullshit comes through your lips, but your skin is black. You never have a plan or strategy. You just have disses. And then we dish you back, but we got plans and strategies that we care about the people. You don't. I challenge you to get in front of your mic and spend an entire week saying nothing but positive shit about black people. I challenge all you coons to do that. And watch your numbers go fucking down like crazy. And you be like, oh, I can't handle that. Can't handle that. Can't keep talking good about black people. And my numbers are, watch. The moment I challenge you amongst your followers, get on and talk good about black people, black poor people, black Latin people, Latin people too. Well, black and Latin, but black people. I want you to say something good every day about black people. Not no platitude like what we should be doing. There are great black people out there doing something right now. I don't want to hear about your conservative people, black people talking about that racist tap dance shit. I'm talking about average black people that you don't even know that they're Republican or Democrat or independent. I don't want you to know any black person you know right the fuck now. Erase them. Spend a week talking about black people that in a good light of people you don't know what political spectrum they stand on. Just the hard work they put in and give them their credit and just do. I want to hear that from one of you coons. It just never happens. You always talk shit and the only people you praise are other coons. And here we are I gave Ben Carson, super coon, I gave him his credit for what he did. You guys can't even do that. So anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I left you with that coontastic story, but I didn't want to go there. But it just bothers me that we can't really come together because, again, not only talking about just black people, I'm talking about human beings, because we got people like that saying some of the most like dumbest things, some of the dumbest things toward like he's gonna talk about, a educated or at least comedic. He's educated. I think maybe self-educated. I'm not sure what college or anything like he went through, but you can tell that he loves to learn. This D.L. Hughley, and then you got this other dude that just loves to talk shit along with his. You know what? I really got a question for these people. It must be hella lonely to literally not have anybody that looks like you, except for the little crevices of all the rest of your cave dwelling friends that say some of the most backward ass cave man, cave woman type of shit. But just anybody that's just intellectual that has nothing to do with politicians or anything like that. No, none of that degrading people. Just talking amongst the people of your own race or whatever. And for you, it must be hard and lonely to be around that, because black people must be like, there go to Coon, man. He's gonna come over here and tell us what we should be doing as opposed to what we're doing, and don't even have it together themselves. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I don't know, but that's the way it is. You end up having all that. But like I said, with what I'm doing, I'm trying to bring us together. Now I have Avid Solutionists where that's going to be all about solutions and none of this. But this is where in straight facts, no chaser. I talk facts, and I honestly will go off on you. I have no problem with that. That's what I do here. We all are different. We ain't all the same thing. We're not a monolith. Just because Avid Solutionists, I'm going to be like totally different than I am here. That's the part where I'm at peace. That's where I want to be at. Right? Avid Solutions is where I want to be at. When I'm here, I have to light into the stupid shit in this country, because I want us to be in a situation where we're trying to help and solve people's problems. That's where I would love to be. I wish this country was more like that. But we got to fight because these people exist. And not only because they exist, because they're being empowered. They're getting money day in and day out to be divisive and evil. And people with my party and people who do what I do just treat them like, they're average people. No, they're demonic as fuck. There's no way in hell you can be divided, like in a sense of that people shouldn't have health care. I think that we shouldn't be divided on that. People should not be with whom they love. We shouldn't be divided on that. Gay, straight, bi, trans, we shouldn't be divided on that. What does that got to do with our day-to-day life? What's that got to do with being human? Has nothing to do. It's all of our lives and who we are. But what's that got to do with me and your transaction with each other? Whom I love is not something that should have to deal with you. Just like you don't want nobody in your house telling you what to do. Why do you step out of your house and think that you can tell somebody who's walking down the street that they have to be pleasant to your particular eyes or your ideology or your church belief or your religion? It's crazy. Let the religion live in your home, But when you walk out your house, you don't own it. You don't. So quit acting like you own the people around you and trying to tell them what they can and cannot do. We all have a collective understanding that crime is bad. That what Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and Trump and all the others did is bad. Collectively, we know that. We would think we know that. But for some reason, they won't let go of the Epstein file. So it seems like that divide, I can't just be agreeing with people who think that it's okay to hide people who commit pedophiles. I can't be cool with that. I just can't. I'm not going to lower my morals just so I can see you eye to eye. No, I'm not doing it. I'd rather stay up here while you stay down there below walking amongst the cave dwellers. That to me is just ridiculous. Anyway, you can't remember. For my fibromyalgia, how you doing, Rude? Are you feeling okay? I understand it flares up every once in a while, right? Or is it? I know it can be painful all the time. A friend of mine had it, or still has it, but we haven't been. She moved out of town, I believe, many years ago. But yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get out of here. You guys have a great evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, Friday I will be in Texas, so I won't be live Friday on YouTube because I'll be in Texas. I won't be live on Monday because I'll be coming back from Texas. So you'll see me Tuesday through Friday next week and up until Thursday this week. So I may go vertical live and just chill and talk a little bit while I'm in Texas. Walk you around the palatial estate we're going to stay at. The reason why I said me and people also in this room, I don't know if they're going that's in this room, but I have a group called Chocolate Music Lab on TikTok. And so that group of people, we've been doing it for 5-6 years now, growing to love them like family, just like I'm growing to love a lot of people here like family. And we met almost 3 years ago in person. We went, this will be our third year. First year we went to Paisley Park. We had a great time. We had a nice mansion there. It was kind of haunted. We had fun with it. Thank you, Sarge Manning, for the donation. Without Red Hat. And get that. And then we also went to Atlanta, Georgia, right outside Atlanta, and had like a 13-acre estate, had 3 houses on it, but we had access to 2 and a lake. It was just beautiful. We relaxed. But we play old school music, and I always say music is love. And when you get around music, man, hate disappears. And not that our people in our room has hate, but it's just like nobody walks into the room because the room is just filled with love. I mean, if you got something crazy to say, as soon as you get into the room, you know it's not a vibe. Nobody's listening to you. And more than likely you get kicked out, and we keep the vibe going. So we do that every Friday, the show, and around 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. And then this year it's going to be in Texas. So we got a nice place out there. And I'll probably go live, share it, walk around the spot. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys big time. I'll show that. I may make it only members only because nobody else really cares. But we'll see. But I might not make it members only because not everybody's a member. All right. You guys have a great one. Thanks again. I hatred. Yeah. Starch Manning. All right. Thank you guys for being here. And hate is expensive. It is very expensive. It is very expensive. And we can fix a lot of the things. Again, there's one thing I know is that there's a segment of our country that will never be fixed. And they used to be again, in the recesses of this country, the hateful people, the disrespectful people, they were just over there, didn't they vote on or whatever, but they weren't united around anything other than hate. And we were beating that out. But then this demon, orange demon, came around and started giving those hateful people hope while destroying everybody else, giving those hateful people hope, not because he cared about them, because he knew their weakness and he wanted them to feel like he cared about them. But he has yet to smile at these people. He only talks when he wants money from them, the smile comes. They've yet to recognize that, because sad enough as it is, a portion of our society is like lonely, don't have friends, don't have skills, education is low, so therefore they're competing for scraps and they're looking at everybody else have, but never blaming themselves for being one of the have-nots. And if that's the case, you're not getting the education, you're not learning a certain trade, thinking that you're always going to just grow up and go to the coal mine and it's going to be there forever. You didn't have any plan, so hate became your out. No strategy. No, let's start putting windmills on our property and maybe we can get some money from the government and maybe we can strike with oil like strike it rich like with oil. We can put these things on our property and the government has to pay the lease. Maybe we can do that. Make new technology, take advantage of it. No, had no ingenuity. You chose hate instead of figuring out a way to make your life better when the industry's left. And now we are where we are. You broker, more hateful, blaming it on brown people and black people with no strategy or no plan. You're just hanging on to the orange man who doesn't care about you. Sounds abusive. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a great night. Much love to you. I'll be back here tomorrow doing the same thing, reading people, tell you the facts. And Avid Solutions, go follow me on TikTok, Avid, one word, Avid, AVID Solutionist, SOLOUTIONIST. Follow me there. Nothing's there yet on YouTube or TikTok either, but we'll start working on that. And so Avid Solution is all about solving problems for everyday people. My gift is to come up with systems. I am, very good at coming up with systems, if I may toot my own horn. But there are brilliance in all of us. And I think if we start to utilize our brilliances together, then we can actually come together like this team of people adding their brilliance to make the country what we want it to be. I think we've been waiting on politicians and the government to make this country what we've all wanted to be. And I think we're capable of making this country what we want to be if we utilize our skills and start creating industries around them and not focusing so much on the billionaires, but creating our own billionaires that care. If you understand anything in my room, it's we care. I say these things that I'm saying is because I care. If I didn't care, I'd just shut up. I say these things because I want you to be aware of the evils and the disrespect that's going on, and that I'm going to match energy with energy. I'm not going to play the simp when somebody tries to fuck with people I love. I'm very protective. I love Americans. I want us to have a better life. I want us to have the American dream, and I see them as an us versus them. They don't want it because they're not showing any ounce of wanting it. They want to take it from you and me. They want to steal it and not work for it. That's not what we were taught. We were all taught. And I was raised around so many different races. We was all taught to work hard, not to cheat. And you got these people over here cheating, breaking laws. It's just a whole different thing. And it's time that the majority, which is us, start fighting back by uniting around things we love. And that's democracy, human beings, hopefully, that we want to see our kids thrive. We can't do that when we got a group of people, small percentage, but all united around fucking everything up. And us spread all over the place. I want this, I want this, I want this. And then the majority of us, if we can bond our ideas together and use our brilliance together, we can create billionaires that care, millionaires that care, and stomp out that shit once and for all. Because once you show people that you can do good by people and make good money, that old school way of fucking everybody over becomes weak sauce. Why? Because if I'm doing good by you and you're making money and you're getting richer just by working with me, Why the hell would you want to go with somebody that don't give a fuck about nobody and makes a mint of money and don't share it? With me, I'm talking about we're sharing is caring. So we're sharing it and making money. And I got a strategy for it, not just talk. And you'll see it on Avid Solutionists. When we got something like that going, that's when the country starts to change. That's when we start to unite. And we've done it before, uniting. In 9/11, I saw all of us loving this country. So if you're going to do any kind of sacrifice, sacrifice for democracy. And when there's a strategy or a plan in place, follow it so that it benefits the American people and eventually globally if they like the way we're doing things. Capitalism that cares. Go check out Avid Solutionists. Not that it compares to Drew and his jams, but it does make me giggle. What makes you giggle? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get out of here, but go follow Avid Solutionists. I'm building the YouTube as well. I'm finally learning how to build a Discord. I'm not good at it, but I'm finally learning how to do that. I'm taking a little course because I really want this to work for us. The Solutionist thing to me is everything. I've been that way since I was a kid. It's solving problems for us. And it's not just, me. It can be any kind of problem. You can bring to me a problem with your family, a car, whatever. We should just build a network of people helping people. If that's the case, how can you, like in my rooms, when we play good music, we love one another. We check on one another. We don't know each other like that, but we really kind of do because we're really connected by spirit. We're connected with the love of music. And when you're in anything and you got love running through your heart, the people that you start falling in love with. And the good type of love, caring about them. I ain't talking about relationship. That may happen too, but I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying to love people like unconditionally. No conditions on you. You love music? Come on in. Let's have a good time. That type of thing. So when I talk about solutions, we all got problems. And a lot of us have never had mentors. A lot of us have never had anybody who gave a damn about us as far as like wanting us to go to the next level. A lot of times when we deal with problems, we got to deal with it by ourselves. And I'm offering something where we can deal with that together. I don't care what it is. Every person has something, and all of us have solutions. So that's what I'm building. Avid Solutionists, go check it out. Much love to you guys. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow, as always. I'll see you when I see you. Take care.